Hi everyone, it's Allie. I was away last week. I was gonna do a video last week, but I was not feeling well, so I had a really bad cold and I had no voice for I hardly had a voice for like 3-4 days. So now I have my voice back and I can do my videos, and hallelujah. So January was a big read for me. I read 8 books, 7 books that are mine, 1 library book. Yeah, about that. And I have 5 books that I want to read in February. My average is 5. I can go above and beyond if I want to, because I have so many books I need to read. And so other than that, just been busy. I was trying to feel better last week and last weekend, so other than that, let's get started with the TBR, the January wrap-up and the February TBR. So the first book I finished reading on January, I actually finished reading it on New Year's Day, was The Heart Forger by Rin Chupeco. I honestly like the sequel to the Bone Witch, The Heart Forger, better than The Bone Witch. The Bone Witch was the first book. I can't speak. The Bone Witch is the first book. The Heart Forger is the second book. And there's the third one's coming out in March. And I'm saving towards that right now. And The Bone Witch, I kind of gave it myself a B-. And this I more give it a B+, maybe A-. This was a really good book. It's about this bone witch who revives the dead, basically. And it gets really interesting. You guys should read it. I don't want to spoil it. The next book I read, it was one of the books I got for Christmas as well, is Grim Lovelies by Megan Shepherd. And I love this book, surprisingly. I finished it in a week with my busy schedule. It was really good. It was so good, I actually couldn't put it down. So it was like Paris with magic in it. It was so it was a beautiful story, beautiful background that Megan Shepherd wrote. I'm so hyped for the last book, even though it's a duology, basically. I'm so hyped up for the next one coming out in the fall. And that one was a great, I give it probably an A- as well. The next book I read is Bright We Burned by Kiersten White. Yeah, I didn't finish Replica. I remember guys showing you videos reading Replica, and then I stopped reading it because I met Kiersten White, then I wanted to read a book from her so bad. So I read Bright We Burned, the final book in the And I Darken trilogy. So this is a vampire retelling of Vlad the Impaler's daughter Lotta Dracula. So basically, it's like you have to read And I Darken first before you read Bright We Burn. So I would recommend reading And I Darken, Now I Rise, then Bright We Burn to read Lotta's story. And that one I give an A+, because that was so good. The next one, oh my god, this one blew me away this month. The Dark Descents of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kiersten White. This one is a A+++++ and beyond. I read this book in like 2 days. It was so good. I think it was so good, it gave me that big scare. I was just like, I literally jumped out of my own seat because it gave me a surprise. That one's definitely 100% read of January. And the next book, I don't have it with me. It's the library book. I had to return it because I couldn't stand that book. No offense if you guys like this book. It's The Great Hunt by Wendy Higgins. To my knowledge, that book deserves a fat F. A big fat F. I couldn't connect with the characters. I found the storyline so boring. So it wasn't my type of book read. So it was just like, I can't connect to these characters. I can't connect to the story. It's so boring. So that one got a big fat F in my book TBR of January. It's the first F in a while. for a book. Lately, I've been lucky at picking out good books. And the next book I read after The Great Hunt was Queens of Fenburn by Kendara Blake. This is the novella to the Three Dark Crowns series. So this was really good. I read Three Dark Crowns and One Dark Throne. I haven't read Two Dark Reign yet, but I'm planning to. So Queen of Fenburn, I wanted to read first before I read the other one. So I read that and I liked it. I think this one's like an A-. It was really good, surprisingly. The next book I read was Slayer by Kirsten White. This is when I met Kirsten White for her Slayer tour when she came to my town. And this one I actually loved. I loved the retelling of Nina, the character Nina, basically. And oh my god, I was so hyped for the second book, but it doesn't come out till next year. So I have to wait a whole year. Figures. This is an A+. This is, I would give this more of a 98%. So it's like next to Dark Descents of Elizabeth Frankenstein. The last book I read in January, it's a manga book. It was Tokyo Ghoul. It was my first manga book, and now I want more manga books. I want more of Tokyo Ghoul as well. I read this in like a day. And then I told my mom, saying, Mom, I finished reading Tokyo Ghoul. She's like, okay, I got your other book, and you're going to see in the next pile. She's like, I'll give it to you on Friday. I'm like, okay. So I finished Tokyo Ghoul, and then Friday I was at work. Usually I bring a book with me when we have no work to do. And if I have extra free time, and I just sit there and read until more work comes, until they give me more work, or until I go home. And because usually that's how it goes on my job. It's like you get paperwork, and if you're out, if there's no work, there's no work. And I'm like, okay, I'll just bring a book with me. I don't want to sit here and do nothing. That's what I literally did. Sat, closed my eyes. 1 minute later, wish I had a book. So that was me Friday. I have black on my lipstick. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to show you that. So, other than that, I was so hyped with Tokyo Ghoul. I loved this manga book. I want volume 2 so freaking bad. No joke. So, that was all the books I read in January. Now, here are the books I'm going to be reading in February. There's one I'm reading now, and that's what I'm going to tell you about. Kina Scars by Leah Bardugo. I'm currently on page 100 of Wada. Let me look. Oh, I'm definitely not there. I'm on page 105. I read this since yesterday. I got it yesterday, so. Well, I ordered it online, and my mom said, oh, since there's possible thieves in your condo complex, you can deliver it to my place. I'm like, okay. So I ordered it, well, pre-ordered it, because I had a gift card from Amazon, and it went to my mom's house, but I had to wait till Friday for it to come, because it came that day when it came out. But that's okay. Sometimes patience is a virtue. So I'm loving it so far. I'm really loving it. Really am. And the next book I plan to read after Kina Scars is, well, it's not going to always be in order. I could decide when I'm going to read, but the next one of the books I'm going to read is going to be Stained by A.G. Howard. This is a gothic retelling of The Princess and the Pea. So this is going to be very interesting. I pre-ordered this, but then it's like, I wanted to read it, but then I knew Leah Bardugo's book was coming. So I was just like, nope, Grishaverse comes first. That comes first. So Stain I'll probably read next. And the next book I plan to read after Stain is finally Two Dark Reign by Kendara Blake. and I can read that and actually be caught up with the series and then wait for the finale in September. You know, September the month is will be my 26th birthday. Oh God. Don't grow up, kids. It's a trap. It's a huge, huge trap. Don't grow up. So, the next book I plan to read after Two Dark Reigns. I've been holding this book for almost a year, and I really need to read it, because I kind of heard there's a sequel. I don't know if that's true. I'll have to do some research. Other than that, you guys are welcome to tell me, comment below, but be nice about it, because I haven't done so much research lately. I've been so busy. It's Hunted by Megan Spooner. It's kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's kind of like her goal is like, what is it, assassinate the Beast or something? I was just like, oh my God, I love Beauty and the Beast retellings. So I have to pick up this book. It took me a year to pick up this book. Yeah. So that's on my read. Oh, my finger. Pinched my finger. Books don't like my fingers. Remember one of the last videos, I almost got a paper cut from one of the books. So the last book of my 5-book TBR of February, I've been holding this off for 2 years, and I'm gonna get so much slam for this. The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. I read the Crown's Game back in 2015. I'll have to read the recaps before I read The Crown's Fate. I really need to finish this duology. I keep putting it down for other books, and now I really need to pick this up. I just feel like it's time to pick it up, and it's time to eventually say goodbye to the characters and move on. And I'll be sad, but I'll move on. I did with the Sarah J. Maas characters. With the what's that book? Throne of Glass series. It took me a while to get over it, but I moved on. Kind of. So, yeah, that's my book, my January wrap-up and February TBR. You know, that's all the books so far I'm going to be reading. If I finish earlier, I can do more books. Other than that, I want to know what's going to be on your reading TBR or what you plan to do for the month of February. Other than that, I'll see y'all again, hopefully again soon. Bye!